Hi guys, it's Emily from Novelle Novels, and this is my December TBR. Now, this is probably one of my favourite months of the year, if not the favourite month of the year, because it's Christmas! Now, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the books that I'm definitely reading, but I've got about 2 or 3 Christmas books up on my shelves that I'm hoping to read, and that I will get to. But by the time I've included my TBR jar, I've got 17 definite books. I've got one pretty much definite because it's got the word Christmas in it, and I'm going to probably use it for a readathon, which I'll talk about in a minute. But that's like 18 books, so I didn't want to push myself, and I don't know which Christmas book I'm going to be. My plan is this year that I have set it out so that all my buddy reads are finishing at Christmas Eve at the latest. Because Christmas Day and that week after that is going to be about me not having to book any books that I have to read, as in like buddy reads. On my TBR, so obviously I want to read them, but it can be more relaxed. Christmas Day is obviously going to be completely about my children and my family. No matter what, with the year everyone's had, they are my priority. Christmas Day is about them. It's the first year since I was a child that I will not be going to church on Christmas Day, so the emotional side of me is struggling with that. Fingers crossed I should be able to see I will try and do my best to see my family. My mum and my 2 sisters and Chris's family. That's like so important. And I'll obviously speak to you guys on here. I'm so lucky with all of you. I wish COVID was different. I wish a lot of my foreign friends, I could see you all and wish you all a happy Christmas. But this is the month where I'm going to celebrate, and I've got some great books chosen. I'm so excited by them. I can't wait. Now, I've got one readathon that I am 100% in on, and that is the Merry Booksmas 2020, which is run by Kaylani. He's a new host for that. Completely Melanie, and one of my all-time bestest friends in here, Clint from Readers. So once I've told you my buddy reads, I'll tell you the prompts for that and how I'm definitely in on that. There's only one prompt that I've not got a definite answer on, but I'm also going to be participating because I've got 3 books for this. The Cloak and Dagger Christmas, which is run by Kate and a few of her friends. I've got 3 mystery books that will fit into that. Now, I also know that Tia is running a readathon, but I can't overload myself. So a lot of my books may fit into her readathon, but I can't say too much or go into too many readathons. And with the Cloak and Dagger Christmas, I can just say I've got 3 mysteries. I'm not going to necessarily do prompts, but I'm participating that way. But I do want to shout out to you. Please check out her channel. Please join in with her readathon. Clint's readathon was the one that was picked first, and I've known about it for years. I've done this readathon since day dot. So I had to obviously be a big part of this. But anyway, let me show you the buddy read books I've got. What do we do first? Actually, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do my TBR jar choice. Now, I've got 2 books that are left in the TBR jar, and what I don't pick today will be going into next year's TBR jar. Quick heads up, I'm not doing set reading goals for next year, but I will be keeping this going. I've got some other plans, but I'll talk to you about that at the end of the month. But let's have a look. I've got 2 slips of paper. Which one am I going to pick? Dum-da-dum-da-dum. I don't know which one I hope. Yes, it's the one I wanted! The Winter Children. I wanted this one. Yay! Yay! It's perfect. It looks like I'm going to have a cat joining me again. What is it? Like I said, like Ange was saying, cats and children are always part of my videos. So, there you go. I've got the book that I wanted. It was one that the lovely Julie from The Hungry Bookworm gave me over a year, nearly 2 years ago. But it's Lulu Taylor. It's The Winter Children. Olivia and Dan Felbeck's dream of a family are finally being fulfilled on the birth of their twins. The longed-for babies mark a new and happy stage in their life. Soon after, Dan's oldest friend, Francesca, offers him a chance to live in Redson Hall, an Elizabethan house which is being renovated. I don't know too much about this, so it looks interesting. It's got dark mysteries in it. Ooh, and it's winter, and it looks perfect, and it's gorgeous. So happy. I know the only problem with this is that it would have to be that that's about 570 pages. No, 470 pages, so it's a chunky book. But it's still, I am so glad the TBR jar picked this. So So that's going over there, so I know which one the TBR jar picked. The other book will be, so this one will be going to next year's TBR jar. So that's going over there, so I don't forget. Now, let me tell you what my buddy reads are. Now, you guys know I did the buddy reads for December and January a few months ago. There is one booktuber on here that I cannot remember her name. One person that said she wanted to subscribe, to join in, but I couldn't find her on Instagram. And Kim, that's you. If you're watching this, please let me know on Instagram and I'll add you to the group. So the first one on my pile is probably, I think, one of the last ones I'm doing. I think it's the last one I'm doing, which is My Husband's Secret by Liane Moriarty. Now this, I listened to an audiobook a long time ago. It was my first Liane Moriarty, but I didn't get on with it. Since then, I've read most of Liane Moriarty's works and I love them. So I've got my physical copy of this. I'm buddy reading with this with Amy from PSI Love Books and Things. She's left BookTube, but she's still on Instagram, so check her out. It's 400 pages. It's Liane Moriarty. Can't wait to get to it. Can't wait to read it. You guys know I love Liane Moriarty, so I'm hoping I'm going to love this a lot more having my physical copy. And the cat's decided to come in again. So the next one is, who am I? This is the one of the ones that I'm reading towards the end as well. My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella. You guys know I love my chick lit. I like Sophie Kinsella, not as much as Jenny Colgan, but I do really enjoy her books. And talk about all of us that have not so perfect lives. That's what I think we all portray our lives as not as perfect, and so many of us aren't. So Kate Branner has a perfect life, flat in London, a glamorous job, super cool Instagram feed. Okay, so the truth is that she rents a tiny room with no space, has a hideous commute to work, and the life she stares on Instagram isn't really hers. Now, if you watched the video that I put up on Monday, my 24-hour reading vlog, I am trying to be honest with you guys and show the real me. I think it's obviously we want to show our happy selves. I don't want to be a depressing channel, but it is important to show the true selves. And this is about what the life we show, the life that's really real. I do try and go for that, but it's interesting. I am buddy reading this with Gaia, who I love, Berna, another great friend, and Sarah from Sarah MG Reads. Can't wait to read this. Good chick lit, perfect one to read in December. Now this one is it's a contemporary, and I believe it's set up. I know there's been some controversy with the author, but I didn't know this when I chose this book, so I'm going to try and go into this as honestly as I can. I'm buddy reading this with Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe. I can't wait. It's our first ever buddy read. And I think we're reading this quite early on in the month. So I don't know much about it. It was shortlisted for the Orange Prize of Fiction in 2004, so it's quite an older book. 15-year-old Cambili lives in fear of her father, a charismatic yet violent Catholic patriarch. Although generous and well respected in the community, it's repressive and frantically religious at home. So this could be interesting. It looks slightly challenging. It's kind of, I chose it because I wanted to try and increase my diversity. I would like to try and read more different books. And this is set in a country that I don't read very much from. I'm reading it with Olivia, so that's going to be great. Let's see what it's like. Now, I know this is the one that I'm definitely starting the month off with. I am so excited about this. This is one of Clint's favourite books from last year. So many of my friends have loved this. Red, White and Royal Blue. I'd say a lot of my American friends have loved it, but apparently UK people haven't as much. So this is going to be interesting. I'm reading this with the lovely Ange from Ange with an E. And the lovely lady from Brews and Reviews, Kaz, I think her name is. Why do I always forget your name? I'm sorry, darling. You know I think you're amazing. And she is amazing. Check out her channel. She is so blooming real and fantastic. And I think the world of her. And obviously I love all of my friends. But this is, I don't need to tell you much about this. This is what will happen when America's first son falls in love with the Prince of Wales. YA, contemporary, cosy, funny, got diversity in it. It's perfect. Can't believe how much I love this. I got sent this by a lovely, lovely fellow booktuber, and I do know who it is, and I will think in a bit. I think her name is Kaz, and Women's Versus Books. Kaz from Women's Versus Books. She sent me this either last year or at the start of the year, because she said that she was unhauling it, and I said I would love it, and she sent it to me. Another 400-page book, but it's perfect. If it's one of Clint's favourite books, then I'm going to love it. I know I will. Then the last of my buddy reads is one that's going to scare the bejeebers out of me. Sleep by C.L. Taylor. I'm reading this with Kelly and Sarah from Sarah MG Reads. Hopefully we're all ready. I know, Kelly, I think you said you weren't sure if you're going to be able to get it. It's a thriller. It counts for the mystery in Kate's readathon. Right, so all Anna wants to be able to do is sleep, but paralysing insomnia, terrifying nightmares and memories about that horrific day are making it impossible, if only she didn't feel so guilty. To escape her past, Anna takes a job at the hotel on the remote Scottish island of Rum. Yet when 7 glass guests join her, what started as a retreat from the world turns into a deadly nightmare. Okay, now I know Nicole from A Beautiful Case of Books loved this book. I got another one I got sent by a fellow booktuber, and I am absolutely cacking myself about reading it, so it will be read first thing. This looks very, very scary. Now, sometimes with my anxiety, I don't always sleep. I have insomnia sometimes. I know a few of my friends have it. It can. Mine's worse because of like anxiety or depression or whatever. But this is going to be challenging on that front, and the fact that it's got the mystery and thriller element scares the crap out of me. So, eek! Now I'm going to show you the book. Now my friend's choice for the month was I chose the lovely Gemma from Read a Book Gem, another fabulous friend, someone I'm really grateful to call my friend. She picked an uplifting book that we actually bought when we went on our book haul together. So this is about the Brontes. You know me and my Brontes. Think you know Charlotte, Emily and Anne. Think again. Samantha Whipple is the last remaining descendant of the illustrious Bronte family of Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre fame. But after losing her father, a brilliant author in his own right, it's up to Samantha to piece together the mysterious family inheritance that's lurking somewhere in her past. Yet the only clues at her disposal are the Brontes' own novel. Ooh, I think this might even be a little bit mystery, actually, so you never know. Do I count this as mystery, Kate? What do you think? This looks interesting. Ooh, it looks fun. It's got a comedy and in mystery a bit, and love and fiction. It's about the Brontes, so thank you, Gemma. Now, what I am going to do on that front, by the way, next year, is I'm not going to have a friend pick a book a month. I'm just going to random months, I'm going to pick one of my booktuber friends to pick, say, like 5 books for my TBR. So kind of like partners chose my TBR, but getting some booktubers to pick some books of mine. So, and I've got another funny announcement to make on that friends choosing thing. So, but yes, last friend's choice of the month, and I think Gemma did really well. So now I'm going to skip over to the prompts for Clint's readathon. I'm already aware that this video is on 12 minutes, and so I better get moving. So the first prompt is partridge in a pear tree. Read a book with bird, fruit or tree on the cover or in the title. And where have I put it? Right, aha. Trees in the book, The Signature of All Things by Elizabeth Gilbert. This one scares the heebie-jeebies out of me because, again, it's mighty. It's 570 pages. I think I'm going to start the month off with this because I want to gradually read it. It's got trees on the cover, so it counts. It's one of the ones that I wanted to buddy read, but like I said, I think the Lady Kim said about it. So, from the moment Alma Whittaker steps into the world, everything in her life intrigues her, instilled with an unquenchable sense of wonder by her father, a botanical explorer and the richest man in New York. Alma is raised in a house of luxury and curiosity. But it's not long before she becomes a gifted botanist in her own right. Now, it soars across the globe of 19th century from London, Peru to Philadelphia, Tahiti and beyond. Now, I have liked one of Elizabeth Gilbert's books, not liked another. This is scaring me because of the size of it. So this is my last choice. If I get on with it, I will read all of it. If I don't, I will try and be stronger and DNF it. But that makes us that prompts. It gets rid of this book. Let's see how we do. Next one. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Read a red book. This is easy. It's got to be a Christmas book. That was going to be an easy prompt. Thanks, Clint. Rosie Hopkins Sweet Shop and the Christmas at the Rosie Hopkins Sweet Shop. Now, you know I loved the first one in the series. Had to carry on going. Nearly read this last year, but I didn't read the first one. Read on the cover. It's the second one in Rosie's thing, so I don't want to say too much about it because you've got to actually read the first book to understand. But she's going to be spending the Christmas with her boyfriend. I'm not going to tell you who because it spoils the first book. But when tragedy strikes at the heart of the community, Rosie's plans for the future collapse. Can she build a life in Lipton? And what's the best for the sweet shop? Also, what's best for Rosie? Cannot wait to read this. This is one I'm really super excited about. Yes, the word super excited. Silent Night. Don't judge a disability by its visibility. Read a book with a disability rep. Now, I'm going to reread one of my most favourite books of last year. It technically counts as a buddy read because Clint's supposed to be reading it as well, but you know what we're like with buddy reads. We'll just let each other know. A Curse of Dark and Lonely. You guys know I love this book. It's got a disability rep because the lovely Harper in this has got cerebral palsy, I think. And she's got disability. And this book is one of my favourite books of all time. So it is a reread, but I love it. I love it. The third book in the series is coming out at the end of January. So I'll be reading the second one, Hearts of Fierce and Broken, in January. And then I'll read the new book in February. But this is one of my favourite books. This book reminded me that disabilities do not make you who you are. They're just a part of you. And this is why I love this book. My sister gave it to me last year. It is one of my favourite books of all time. I'll always be grateful from Chloe Reads Books for recommending it. Love it. That mixes that. But it also does match another prompt. So I am going to be cheating. I will read different books for other prompts. Now, I have a little dreidel. Read a book that involves a game. I haven't got a book for this, but I am going to say that if I get time, my little niece, surrogate niece, has lent me Catching Fire, which is the second in the Hunger Games series. If I get time, I'm going to read that. I will put it on my borrowed books that I would like to read to if I get time. I'll be home for Bookmas. Read a book in your favourite cosy spot at home. Over there is my cosy spot. It's my chair, so I'll be reading lots of books in there. Baby, It's Cold Outside. Read a cosy book. Well, I thought for that I'm going to read My Not So Perfect Life by Sophie Kinsella, which I've already shown you. All I Want for Bookmas. Read a romance or a friends group. So where did I put it? And I think I thought I put that to one side, but I hadn't. There we go. Sorry about that. Christmas at Woolworths. I'm going to say the friendship in this. It's the second in the Woolworths series. I read the first this year, so I wanted to carry on the series over Christmas because I wanted to read a Christmas book at Christmas. Best friends Sarah, Maisie and Frida are built together by their jobs at Woolworths. With their loved ones away busy fighting the war, the bonds of friendship strengthen each day. Betty Billington, the manager at Woolworths and a rock with the girls, is giving up on love until a mysterious stranger turns up one day. Could he reignite the spark for Betty? So this does count as romance, but to me, the biggest thing with this is the friendships in this. That's what I love about this whole series. It's the friendships that they have, and I love it, love it, love it. So, I think I got this. I think I actually had paid for this, or did someone send it to me? I can't remember, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Cannot wait to read it. So that's that one. I'm going to put that to one side. Right. Happy Quasin. I've said this wrong. Read a book by or about a person of colour. So that's Purple Hibiscus. That will match that prompt. My favourite thing, read a book featuring one of your favourite tropes. And I've gone for The Mad Woman Upstairs because one of my favourite tropes is a bit of the mysterious, the family element, the finding things out about the Brontes, the secret and the fun. So I think that counts, although quite a few of these books would count for that. Bookmas, read a book that came out in 2019. So that will be Red, White and Royal Blue. That came out that year. Underneath the Tree, read a book gifted to you. I'm going to go with The Curse of the Dark and Lonely for that because it was gifted to me by my sister. So, although I've got quite a few books with that. And I want to wish you a Merry Bookmas. Read the group book or a buddy read. I've got millions of buddy reads, but to be individual, I've said that I'm going to count My Husband's Secret for that. So they are all the prompts for that. I'm already on 18. Here we go. Why do I get obsessed with the time? Sorry, guys, you know me. Now I'm going to show you the other books that I've got for the month. So the first one that looks like I'm going to do is Castle of Tangled Magic by Sophie Anderson. Now, you know I love The House of Chicken Legs. Love the second book. Absolutely The Girl Who Speaks Bear. This actually only came out last month, so it was one that I've been desperate to. Magic awaits. All you have to do is believe. When 13-year-old Olia steps through a magical doorway, she's about to discover another land. A land tangled by magic where hope is lost and a scheming wizard holds all the power. Don't need to know too much more. My sister loved this. I'm going to love it. Thank you, Chris, for buying it for me. That's my loved one that I'm excited about. I have got another middle grade book that's coming to me that I've been sent by Tandem. It hasn't arrived yet, so I can't show you, but I'm starting reading it on the 30th, so it will kind of be November, December reading, so I can't wait for that. Books that I wanted to read, 5-star predictions. I predicted that I would love this one. It's an odd number in the series. I think this is 4th in the series and I've read the 1st. A serial killer isn't on trial, he's on the jury. Can't wait to read this. It's another thriller, so I'm going to mix up my thrillers and read them in different areas, but I've got a funny feeling it will be read pretty quickly. Again, Steve Kavanagh, another thriller author that I liked his first book. Cannot wait to read this one. I'm tidying up what I've got. Now, which other one? This, by the way, Clint, if I haven't already told you, out of our buddy reads, we're supposed to be buddy reading this. But again, Winter we didn't exactly buddy read because he was busy. This is the last one in the series. It's a novella, and it's got short stories apparently in it. So I don't know exactly. So yes, it's got, here we go. So it's got Carswell's Guide to Being Lucky. It's got a series of short stories. The Queen's Army, and it's like the last one in the books, the Lunar Chronicles. And you guys know I love the Lunar Chronicles. So I think I'm going to start with that. I may even start it on the 30th of November, just to be naughty. Because I am naughty, aren't I? Don't need to tell you any more about that. Cannot wait. My borrowed book from Charlie, my sister, so we'll get to that. Next one, Tori from Hufflepuff Discovery was reminding me I need to read more of my Tudor books. Out of all my Alison Weir non-fiction books, this was the one that jumped out at me. And it's My Lady Elizabeth. I really wanted to read a Tudor book because, like I said, this is the month I want to read my favourite books and books that excite me. England 1536, home to the greatest, most glittering court in English history, but beneath the dazzling facade hides treachery. As Elizabeth Tudor, daughter of the King Henry VIII, the most powerful king England has ever known, she's destined to ascend the throne and deferred to as the king's heiress, but all that changes when her mother, Anne Boleyn, is executed for treason and her life alters in a heartbeat. So excited, so excited. Another chunky one though, it's another 470 odd page one, but I fly through Alison Weir's books, so I cannot wait to read that. Now I'm nearly done. This was another book of my 5-star predictions, The Two Lives of Lydia Bird. Again, this has had mixed reviews. Some people have loved it and other people haven't. I think I got Chris to pay for this full price for me, so I'm really hoping it is. It's the author of One Day in December, which, by the way, I might try and read that on my ebook or my audiobook by Josie Silver. So, but this has been quite interesting. I like the idea of the two lives. So Lydia and Freddie and Lydia, they've been together for almost a decade. Lydia thinks their love is indestructible, but she's wrong because on her 27th birthday, Freddie dies in a car crash. Now it's up to Lydia to do all her best to hide indoors and sob. And then something happens, and basically they have like 2 chances of life. And Lydia gets another chance of her old life with Freddie. But what if someone new in her new life who wants to stay? To me, this really strings because the accident and losing things. It makes me think of my own accident. How would my life have been different if I hadn't have had that? Ultimately, if it would have stopped me from having my children, I would rather have had the accident and have my children and Chris. But it's an interesting concept, so I can't wait to read that. Last definite is this one, which my sister Charlie lent to me after Christmas last year. This has got, this book is Gathering of Voices. Some you've heard before, some you wouldn't have. It's a short Christmas book. It's only 230 odd pages. It's a book of short stories by different authors and it looks really good. I think this is another one I think I might read pretty quickly on. Because it's quite a short book, but Charlie lent it to me last Christmas and it's taken me all year to read it. Sorry, Charlie. Yeah. I will be reading this. I think Lauren from Lauren's channel liked it. So I'm going to definitely read this. I might read that one quite early on. And then the last, if I get a chance, because of Kate's readathon, if I get a chance, I'm going to read The Christmas Mystery by Josie Gardner. I absolutely bloody hated Sophie's World by this author, but my sister has said this book is far better. It's only 240 odd pages, so it's not long. If I get a chance, I'm going to read this. I really want to get this off my shelves and give this back to Charlie. She said this is a lot better than Sophie's World. It's living better because I hated that. Anyway, guys, sorry this is such a long video. I hope you like all the books I've shown you. If there's any you want to join in with me, message me below. If there's any you think I should prioritise and read quickly, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I will see you all soon. And I hope, if I don't get a chance to remind you all, I love you all and I hope you have a great December.